this rig is really good with these worms that I'm throwing. And one of the things that I think that makes the action so good is that I'm using straight-tailed worms. You know, sometimes I'll use a little smaller worm, and sometimes I'll use something a little fatter. You know, a lot of times if you're fishing spotted bass or smallmouth, things like that, the little 4-inch Finesse worm is the way to go. If I'm looking for big fish, I'll use a regular full-size 5-inch zero and rig it the same way. The key is the way that jig head holds the head down and the tail comes up off the bottom. It really has tremendous amount of action. You can use ribbon tail worms and other things on it, but I think what makes this rig so successful is that straight tail kind of hanging there and floating up there, and the way that it quivers and wiggles. And it, believe it or not, just because it's straight doesn't mean it doesn't have a lot of action. So. Oh, there's a couple more with it. Good solid fish. That's a typical shaky head fish right there, you know, just a good solid keeper. A lot of days though that those are really gonna make a difference for you. One of the things that you really have to do though is you have to use the right size jig head. I wanna get good bottom contact, but I don't want one that's too heavy. So I use really, you know, from 1/8 ounce up to about 5/16 ounce with this rig in 1/16 ounce increments. So when I cast it out there, if I was throwing a 5/16 ounce up into 2 or 3 foot of water, it'd just be really heavy and I couldn't get the good action out of the worm. So the deeper I go, the heavier the head. In shallow water, because this is not just a deep water technique, in shallow water, you know, I'll use an 1/8 ounce head and it works really good around any type of cover. Once I've got the bass located, and I can't get them to bite, this is something that I want to pull out of my tackle box. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! That's a nice one right there. That light line, you gotta play them around. I'll back reel a lot. They take a quick lunge. That's why that long medium action rod really comes in handy. Is not only does it help you cast far in that, but when you got a nice fish at the boat, it gives you a lot of control with them. So one more jump. There's a pretty one. These little needlepoint hooks like that, I mean, it's just automatic. One of the things I do when I get a bite is I don't snap set the hook into them. I just like to reel and then pull, just like that. Instead of jerking real hard, just reel till the rod tightens up, and then give it a steady pull, and you'll have that fish hooked just about every single time. If I try to snap set it like I would with a Texas rig or something like that, I miss a lot of them and I lose a lot of fish. So, and if he's not on there, you just drop it right back down and he'll come right back and bite it again. Without a doubt, it's the #1 finesse rig or technique that's out there right now.